How you doing, guys? I'm Moonchild. I'm back again for another review, and today we are looking at the Freakshow Mini. Yes! Let's take a look. So yes, today we are looking at the Freakshow Mini RDA by WOTOFO. And I've been looking forward to doing this review. I was looking forward to getting it. I was looking forward to sitting in front of the camera and telling you all about it. Whether you're going to be interested or not, I don't really care because I like it. So, I've got it in stainless steel. And if you really wanted to know, I've got it sitting on top of my Sageli 100 watt. And we are at 64 watts on a 0.2 ohm coil. I've just rebuilt this and it came out about 0.25. So we've got 68 watts, 64 watts, sorry, as I've just told you, 4.2 volts, and it's good. Let's have a look. As you can see, bags and bags of vapour. And that's just on one of my new shorty drip tips. Got a couple of these from fasttech, and they're doing well. A couple of quid. So I got picked up a few of them. So anyway, enough about fasttech and drip tips. You don't want to know about that. That's not why you're watching it. So, Freakshow Mini. This is a 22mm RDA. I got this from vapegeek.co.uk. I purchased it for $19.99. I got it quite quickly after it. I got it on the pre-order, so I got it the day after it came out. I've got it in stainless steel. Airflow. I've got a dual coil on this, so I'm fully open. You can also run a single coil on it. So the Freakshow Mini was designed by Purchesed Vaping, and WOTOFO WOTOFO made it. Still an amazing flavour. It is 17mm in height. As I said, it's 22mm in diameter. I'll just read a quick paragraph here from the Vape Geek website. It says, like the full-size Freakshow RDA, the Mini has heatsink fins on the top cap to help keep the device cool, and a Delrin insulator at the drip tip entry. It's a 3-post design. Each has a large wire terminal holes so that you can easily switch out builds. The Freakshow Mini also features a silver-plated copper 510 connection and a 5mm deep juice well, and it has the grub screws, so you have to use an Allen key, which I'm perfectly fine with. I think that's actually a better way of doing it. Oh man, I do apologise. So, or I could smash the camera up. Move that out of the way. I've been really enjoying this this atomizer. The flavour on it is fantastic. It's a little bit better than the Freakshow. I mean, I raved about the flavour on the Freakshow. As I said, this is 17mm, so it's actually about half the size of the Freakshow in height. The top cap, every time I throw something on the floor, every single time, I'm going to have to give myself an oops t-shirt, just like Twisted. The original Freakshow was a three-piece design. This is only a 2-piece, so you have your top cap and your deck. So your heatsink section doesn't come off, and it's slightly barreled as well, which sort of, it's a nice effect. One thing I will say, this does get warm with constant vaping, which you can understand because if you can see in there, the top cap sits pretty much directly on top of the posts, so it does get pretty warm, even with the heat sinks and the Delrin piece. Your drip tip gets a little bit warm. It's not too warm that you can't vape it, but it's just to warn you. The first build I put in this as well, I'll show you here. Don't know if it's going to pick it up. The first build I did, I just did as I normally would. I just put the coils over the airflow, which kind of works, but you do get a lot of spit back. That's my one con. If you don't get your coils in the right place, you do get a lot of spit back, even through your drip tip. Nobody wants to be eating juice. That's not what we're vaping. So I would say, once you've done your build and you're giving it you give it a pulse to warm your coils up, and you start tinkering, put your screwdriver back in and just pull them out, and you want it as close to the edge of the barrel as possible, obviously without touching the top cap, otherwise you're going to short out. So yeah, that's my one recommendation would be just to pull that right across. I've retrieved my drip tip from the floor. I'll have a quick vape. So also, when you're wicking this, you don't need a lot of cotton or whatever your wicking material is going to be, your Japanese cotton, your organic cotton, or whatever you're going to be using. I don't know if you can see what I've got in there. It looks a lot more than what it is. I've just reduced, but let me just drop this camera down a little bit and I'll see if I can show you. There you go. Right, so what I did, or what you want to do, is put your cotton through your coil, or however you're going to do it. If you've got a dragon coil, obviously it's not going to much matter, but a little bit like when you wick a K-fun, just sort of snip it just to the edge of the deck, and then just poke it down behind your coil. You don't want too much juice in there. Sorry, you don't want too much cotton in there, because you want to take advantage of you got a deep enough juice well, so you want to take advantage of that. So if you just do that and then push your cotton down inside, you're leaving your juice well free for the juice, which is funnily enough why it's called a juice well. Who'd have thought? So I'm sorry, just have to keep vaping it. I love the flavour on this. So I think that's enough rambling for now. Why don't we take it down to the table? I'll show you how it comes. I'll show you its pieces, and I'll tell you a bit more about it down there. I'll see you down. So this is the box that the Freakshow Mini comes in. It's very much like the Freakshow box that it comes in, and also the Troll sort of came in this kind of box as well. Just take you around it, same as normal. We've got the WOTOFO logo there, little QR code, the little scratch and sniff bit on the bottom, much the same affair, WOTOFO's logo, just some safety information and made by WOTOFO. So, take the cap out. There's the tiny little Freakshow Mini. We'll set that aside for 2 seconds. So in the box, some foam, your QC card, underneath that, bag of spares. Now I don't know if it's just because they like me, but I got given 2 Allen keys, which you normally get the one. You get some spare O-rings and a couple of spare grub screws as well. So that's the non-important stuff. Now to the real deal. So this is your Freakshow Mini, just like its bigger brother. You've got the little skeleton eating fire there for its logo. On the bottom, there you go, Freakshow Mini. It's all looking lovely down there. So made by WOTOFO, designed in the USA, and the serial number on the bottom of this one, excuse me for a second, is a 3617. So it's all nice. We have a silver-plated, fully adjustable copper contact 510 connection. I'll just show you that it's fully adjustable. There you go. My trusty little tweezers there. I use them for everything. So there you go, fully adjustable. And one thing that I have really enjoyed about that is you don't get no spinning centre post, which is nice. There's your airflow, pretty much the same as the Freakshow itself. It's a little bit thinner than the actual Freakshow, but still same amount of great airflow in there. So we have one that side for your dual coil setups, and one there for a single coil setup. Here's your heatsink, just for the top there. Now on the Freakshow this did come off, but this is one solid piece of steel. Same as the Freakshow inside. There's your little Del ring piece to to help heatsink against the drip tip as well, so you don't get a hot drip tip. Barreled again inside slightly. I think it's got less of a curvature, but you don't really need a lot, because once it's sitting down on the deck, I mean that's down there. I mean it's, once you look through the top, I'll just put it back together. Once you look into the top, I don't know if that's doing it justice on camera, but that post is just literally touching the inside. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to find the best way to show you. If I bring it back down here, so that's now touching the post. So there's not a lot of room for error. Just pull this off. Dual O-ring to hold the top cap on. I've been taking this on and off quite regularly, so one of my O-rings is just a little bit, it's giving up the ghost, so I need to change that over at some point. But nevertheless, there's your deck. So there you go. 2 negative posts milled into the deck, and as I said, you don't get a spinning centre post. Holes in the posts. Let's get it back on. Just slotted across, whereas on the Freakshow there were holes. It sort of prevents you from putting really thick gauge wires in. Like, you probably get a single twisted 28 gauge in there, but you're not buying this to chuck clouds, even though it does work. I've been chucking some clouds on it. This is all flavour. This size, this atomizer, it's all about the flavour, and I'm telling you, the flavour is fantastic. I absolutely love the flavour of the Freakshow itself, and this is no different. The flavour is absolutely immense. So also, we have, again, the same great airflow, so you're coming in from there and up underneath your coil. You have a 5mm juice well. So if you set this up right, with the right amount of cotton, you're dripping for a while. You've got enough juice that you're not constantly drip, drip, drip. Take a toke, drip, drip, drip. Take a toke, drip, drip, drip. But I'll show you how I'm wicking it later. There's your grub screws there. That's tightened down with an Allen key, and I'm actually really enjoying the Allen key sort of style screws. They're not backing out at all, and it's just so much easier. Just knock it down with that, take your Allen key out. You ain't got to worry about your Phillips and filling the heads of a Phillips screw and things like that. So it's been working fantastic for me. As you can see, this is the stainless steel version, as WOTOFO normally do. There's about 1 billion different colours you can get for it. There's like a Tiffany blue, you can get it in white, black, copper, probably some sort of green. I can't remember what else other colours there are, but whatever takes your fancy. Once this is together, this is a 17mm in height, and of course it is 22mm in diameter. Height on this is great for the flavour. If you hold on 2 sec, yeah, I'll go and get the Freakshow, and we'll see a size comparison. So just wait there a second. So there's the Mini and its big brother, the original Freakshow. Let me just take that trip tip off. So there you can see the size comparison. And what's that? That's pretty much half the size of the Freakshow. So imagine the flavour, if anyone's used the Freakshow, the flavour you're getting out of this, and you know, half that barrel. You know, it's fantastic. The only warning I will give you about using the Mini is, even with the heat sinks, it does get warm. The actual barrel gets warm. Top, not so much, but it does. You know, you can, if you put it in, you wouldn't want to, you know, what's it called? Like, I can't remember the name for it, but Twisted 420 said exactly the same thing. You know, you wouldn't want to just put it straight in your mouth and pull through that way. But I've been using these shorty trip tips. I've got a couple of these, and I've got some plastic ones which I've been using with the Mini a couple of times, but I've been using this brass one, and it does get a little bit warm, but not an uncomfortable amount. So let's just show you a comparison of the deck quickly. Without throwing it all over the floor. There you go. Let me just knock the camera back round. So there's your two decks. And if I get, there you go. You sort of see in there, the airflow on this is a little bit thinner, but it's a little bit wider as well. So you're still getting that great flavour. But other than that, without throwing anything else on the floor, before I get too ahead of myself, let's go back up to the top. We will talk about it, we will vape on it, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So guys, I'll see you back up the top. See you in a sec. So guys, that was an up close and personal look at the Freakshow Mini RDA by WOTOFO. One more. If you can't tell already, I'm loving this RDA, I'm loving this atomizer, I'm loving the flavour, I'm loving the vapour production, I'm loving the size of it, it's brilliant. I haven't got very many cons, and everything else is a pro. I mean, silver plated copper contacts, I'm loving that. I'm loving the size of the post holes, I'm loving the airflow, still the same great airflow, nice and squishy, not too restrictive. It's still a cool vape. Even though the barrel does get warm, that will be one negative I've got for it. It would just be how warm it does get. That's just a worry about people's safety at the end of the day. Just, you know, don't do the whole in your mouth sort of jobby. Make sure you use a drip tip. It's still fantastic. So I think you've seen enough of me gushing over this RDA. You don't really want to see any more. Otherwise it's going to get too close, too personal, and nobody's going to want that. So I'm going to wrap this up here just by saying again, I love this atomizer. I would recommend it to anyone. I'd love the price of it. I love the size of it. I love the vapour I'm getting from it, and I love the flavour I'm getting from it. So one more thing before I go. I just thought I'd wrap up a bit of business. I'd like to give a shout out to one guy that gave me a shout out the other day. It's a guy that I haven't seen for a while, but hopefully we meet up again soon. And that's Ashley over at Love Thy Vape. He's just started his channel, he's got a couple of subscribers, he's doing a lot of coil rebuildable sort of tutorials. He's just getting into dripping and things like that. So go and check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description for his channel. Again, I'll put a link in the description for vapegeek.co.uk where I'll purchase the atomizer from, and I'll put a link in the description for the drip tips I've been using, just because I mentioned it at the beginning. People might want to know. So again, I've been Moonchild. This has been the Freakshow Mini by WOTOFO. And remember guys, vaping is the way forward. See you again soon.